see. Hopefully that worked. Think I had that? Oh. Where did you go? Looks like I'm live. I'm gonna assume I am live. Just testing this out. Hopefully we'll see people come in, because I don't really know what I'm doing. Seems like I have some people in. Alright, so this is of course going to be my first time trying out a different live stream. I'm actually doing this on my Mac and not my PC, so things will be a little different. I'm going on my recording mic that I normally use for videos, but it's not like right in front of my face all the time, so if I back away or the volume's really off, just guys let me know. Hopefully I don't screw up too many things, but I was trying to experiment. I try to put some music in the background and try to make it a little more exciting and interesting, but hopefully we'll see how it goes. Any criteria how the ranks work, so if you can see the ranks I just put, it's just one I stole from other videos that I've done before. So of course it's just the classic letter grading, although generally I wouldn't likely put something in F, but the way I generally rank subunits is mainly in their songs. That's that's kind of the main thing I go for subunits. I listen to their songs, and of course you can look at the characters and the voices and how well they mesh is another thing, but that is kind of encapsulated in the song. If their voices don't mesh very well, then chances are you might not like the song as much. But the general gist is kind of averaging how many of these songs I like, but if there some songs that I like really love, that will give a definite boost. And for the newer subunits, I'm going to be doing a little bit more of speculation, because they don't have a lot of songs, so it's more of me predicting what I think they will be able to do, how do I like their style, and etc. So especially when we're going to be talking about the Hasunosora girls, it's going to be a little bit more on speculating what I think they're going to do, how do I like how the girls combine, and just the general style and aura that they give. While older subunits, I have a plethora of songs to look at, so I know a decent amount of styles, I know their voices very well, and etc. So that's the kind of gist that I'm going on, but it's going to be a lot of averaging. Let's see. Did our music stop? Probably did, because I did not. That's not the right playlist. Whoops. Let's not try to get copyright claimed. Where did my music player go? I wanted to do this. We're not gonna be playing those songs, Guilty Kiss songs. I'll say not trying to do any bias here, but also let's not get copyright struck. That would be a good idea. Hopefully I set that up right this time. Okay, so yeah, so that's more or less the gist, and we're about at 9, so I guess it's about time for me to start. But yeah, hopefully this won't be too awful. So, with a few things about the things here. So, I will be dragging them into each of these ranks as being spectacular. This is for the subunits I really love. And, basically I wouldn't really change much or anything at all, because I like them so much. For the awesome, these are ones that I do like. Maybe there's a few things that I'm like, I'm not crazy about, but you know, in general, they do a fantastic job. So B, I was looking for a word that started with B, Subunit, good. So, you know, subunits I like. They have a handful of good songs, but they haven't really took that step, or maybe they're missing that one banger song that I really need to take them over the edge. C is for, you know, groups that I was like, well, you have a handful of decent songs, maybe occasional 1-2 good songs, and maybe some that I just don't care about. And overall, just, you know, you feel like meh about them. Nothing that you're crazy attached. D for disappointing is for subunits. You just look at them, it's like, wow, what were they thinking, or like the potential, what is not realized. So stuff that you're just like, wow, yeah, I don't really care about the subunit at all. And F for fail. So that means you just don't like it all. So yeah, and actually, funny enough, I actually forgot to put Rebirth in my team record originally, so I caught that before I started this video, because I'm smart. But so I also, if you notice, I have all the tabs over, so we're going to be using those tabs as a good reminder for, you know, at least me, but for you guys as well when I go over the subunits. So without further ado, we're going to be starting this one. So we're going to be starting with, of course, Muse. Muse subunits would be Bibi, Liella, and Printemps. And we're going to start with those because we basically don't have much changing for these subunits, because it's been a while since they released their last song. I don't even know, it was 2016. I don't know if they even released a song I think 2016 with the Squall Festival collaboration. But beyond that, our opinions are going to be pretty solid on these, especially for me as well, because the most new content we really got was All-Stars with their MVs, but that's dying, so at this point we're not getting anything really for these subunits. Alright, so we're going to be starting with Bibi. So Bibi, of course, is the combination of Maki, Ellie, and Nico, and Bibi was the kind of the original cool, mature group. They were the ones to, I figure, try to attract a lot of the younger audience. And of course, the name Bibi was, you know, supposed to sound like baby. And that's kind of how the name is. And you can see this image that I used here is very much the kind of image that they wanted to develop for this group. They wanted to be that cool, mature style. And, you know, you think they might maybe a little goth in nature. So that's the kind of the style of the songs that they did. And I think that's what they kind of done. So we're going to pull up the wiki just for sake, so you can learn more about this and read about this if you care to learn about the history, but I'm just going to jump straight to the songs. So we're going to, of course, start with the first single. So the first single for Bibi, which was with Diamond Princess no Jutsu and Love Novels. Diamond Princess no Jutsu is definitely one of the songs that I really think of what I think of Bibi, and I'm still surprised to this day that not a lot of people really care about Diamond Princess no Jutsu, especially amongst Bibi fans. I actually kind of like it. It's kind of got that intense style, and it's really dramatic, and I felt that's what we know Bibi for. So I think it's actually a pretty good song for me. Love Novels, I'm not so crazy about. It was weird because they were trying to develop a style for Bibi to be cool, mature, and then Love Novels like, lol, no, we're not about that. And some people might like that kind of style of song, but it was just a little goofy. The chorus is decent though, but I'm not crazy about Love Novels for me. Yeah, you can even see that some other names that they wanted to go for this, you know, was Grace Maiden and Shiny Silhouette. They really had the game with Shiny, huh? So the second single is definitely one of the bigger songs from Bibi. We have Cutie Panther. Cutie Panther, of course, is one of the really popular songs from Bibi. And I originally didn't really like that song, but I listened to enough to this point where I do enjoy it a decent amount now. The other song, Natsu Owa Naide, I don't really care for the song. This is a slower song, you know, obviously a little bit about the summer. That's what Natsu means, but you get to see from the album cover, you know, they're in swimsuits, which You can guess why they wanted to put them in some swimsuits. Personally, I still like the first single a little more than the second single. I know Cutie Panda is a little more popular overall, but I never really cared for Natsu or Why Not Dead. But of course, that's all opinions. But that's just me personally. So the next one, for the third single, we go and get to Fuyu ga Kureta Yokan. This song is one of my favorite Bibi songs. I'm probably going to say this is actually my favorite Bibi song. Fuyu ga Kureta Yokan it's about winter. You could see that from the outfits. But this is a little bit of a slower song, but it definitely has a lot of emotion in the singing. And it's one of the songs that I still like listening to today for BBs a lot. And I don't think that's really shared amongst a whole lot of people, but that's definitely one thing that I really did appreciate from BB. And of course, BB could be that cool and mature, but they also do have that romantic side to them, which you'll see a little bit later, where they go a little bit slower, but have a lot of passion in their singing. Then there's Trouble Busters. That one is definitely a really unique song. So Trouble Busters, of course, has that really unique opening, and it's really filled with a lot of energy. And you know, for what it is, I think it's a pretty decent song. I was definitely taken away from it when I first listened to it. I was like, what the heck is this? It's an odd one for sure, but it can definitely be fun to listen to that song. So overall, I think the third single was a pretty dang good single. And then Silent Night, the song like no one remembers. So even I have trouble remembering this song. Because it's a little bit slower song, but it was also just kind of a song that slipped in there. And hey, look, it was released on Christmas. Silent Night's an alright song. It's a little slow. But I don't think a lot of people even remember this one, honestly. And then we get to the movie single. So each subunit got a movie single. And this was to be a collaboration with the movie, to be a reward that people can get by going to the theaters. And this one was Saite de Saiko no Paraiso. And if you guys haven't had an opportunity to listen to these singles, I would definitely give it a recommendation, because they're actually all are pretty good. And Saite de Saiko no Paraiso, it's actually pretty fun to listen to. They got a good amount of energy to it, and the instrumentals kind of hit hard. So then last but not least, we got the last single for BB, which was in 2016. We have the Takaku Crossroads and Psychic Fire. So I know a lot of people are big fans of Psychic Fire, and I do like Psychic Fire too. I'm not as big on it as I think a lot of other people are, but the big appeal to Psychic Fire is just how fun it is to listen to, and especially singing, because you have them actually singing their names in the songs, and it can be really fun to listen to. If you ever had a chance to listen to that song, or even better, look at the All-Stars MV, I would highly recommend that, because that really gets to show you the fun part of that song, and it's high energy, and you get to hear them sing. It's overall a pretty good song. Takaku Crossroads was a song that I would say that it took me a while to really appreciate this one. It is definitely slower, but this is more of that slower passion kind of song, and it's honestly pretty decent as well. So overall, as I went through all of the songs for BBs, I basically said I liked a good amount of songs. So where does that land BB? I'm going to put BB in B. Probably like a B+ around for me. BB has a boatload of songs that I think were pretty dang good, and I enjoyed a lot of them. BB itself hasn't really done that home run for me. My favorite will still be Fuyu ga Kureta Yokan, but it's still not, I don't know, around top 50 maybe for me, or whatever the number is. So overall, I do like BB a lot. But it hasn't really done it really hasn't released a song that I think is a true home run for me. So B for BB. It's kind of funny how that works, but B for BB, right? Alright, so next up we have Printemps. So we got these girls right here. So, Printemps, of course, which is French, meaning spring, and you can kind of even see in their photos, they are jumping or springing, right? I don't know if they actually planned that, but you know, that's it. So definitely, Printemps is kind of that more cheery, bright, happy group. Though they had a few songs that kind of contradict with that, and not a lot of people are crazy in love with Printemps. It's definitely the least favorite out of the Muse subunits. And is that criticism fair or not? In my personal opinion, I think a lot of people are rather harsh on Printemps, and you know, I get their voices are high, but they have some fun songs to listen to. So let's take a look at the songs that they have. So here we got the girls on Printemps, and let's start with their first single. So the first single we have for Printemps is Love Marginal and Sweet Holiday. So Love Marginal, the first song they released, and it's not at all what I was expecting when I saw that image. I thought bright and cheery and happy, but here we get Love Marginal, and we get a really passionate love song. And you thought, well, okay. Also keep in mind, 2011, that was before the anime. And this is when Hanyo and Kotri, they had the lower pitched voices, so not the voices we're so familiar with. So when we listened to them, it was all a bit lower. I kind of preferred the older Hanyo voice, but you know, that's just my opinion. But Love Marginal is actually a pretty dang good song, and definitely one of my top Printemps songs out there as well. It's definitely really fun to listen to, and I really enjoyed the kind of the message it gives. So next up we have Sweet Holiday, and I gotta say, if you ever get a chance to read the lyrics, in fact, you know, I can just pull it up. So if you get to read some of the lyrics here, you get to see it's you know, they're talking about chocolate and sweets, and you know, it's called Sweet Holiday. And it's kind of find it fun that, you know, they're talking about macarons or something like that. So I think it's kind of a cute, fun song to listen to. It's not like the best song in the world, but I just find that a kind of a fun song to listen to. And I found it a little catchy. It's not amazing for me, but I do think overall this was kind of a pretty decent first single. So next up, for the second single, we have Pure Girls Project and Unbalanced Love. I'm sure a lot of people probably are going to lean towards Unbalanced Love. I think it's fine. I'm not really crazy about Unbalanced Love. The one I liked more personally was Pure Girls Project. I feel like I'm gonna get hate for saying that, but it's kind of a fun, cute song, honestly, to listen to. And they also have that remix, which whatever it was called, the Super Mondo mix, I think, which kind of gave it a new kind of style. But I think this is definitely a lot closer to the Printemps we will get. Next up, we had the bonus single, Pua Pua O. I don't really like that song, honestly. To be completely honest with you, this is definitely one of the songs that I don't really ever care to listen to. I'm not gonna hate on Printemps because they had one song I consider kind of a miss, but it's Pua Pua was tried to be super cutesy, and I think it's a little overload on that. Next up, we have the third single, I and Friends and Nightingale Love Song. I and Friends is honestly pretty good. I actually do like that song. I find this one really catchy to listen to. It is a little faster paced, but I find that really fun to listen to. I think that's my favorite Printemps song. But yeah, I and Friends, forever friends, whatever, eternal friends, I think, whatever that translates to. But I think that's definitely a fun song to listen to. Nightingale Love Song is a slower song. It's of course about love, and it's definitely a little bit harder to appreciate some songs when they get a little slower. I think that Nijigaku Love Song is a fine song, but it's a little too slow to really be some song that I really like. But overall, I still think it's a pretty decent single. I am definitely more leaning towards I Am Friends. That's the one I like the most. So next up, we got the bonus single by Printemps, December 25th. So another Christmas release, and it's Cheer Day Cheer Girl. No. I don't really like Cheer Day Cheer Girl, to be honest with you. It's another one of those songs I listen to, I'm like, yeah, no. I'm good, thanks, bye. So I barely even really remember what it sounds like, because I don't really care for it. Then we go to the movie single. Museum de Doshitai. This one's actually pretty good. It was the first single for the movies that I enjoyed, but I listened to the other ones more, and I am liking them all. And this one's actually kind of fun to listen to. It's got a pretty catchy verse and chorus to it, so honestly, this one's actually a pretty good single. Yeah, I know I'll get to CYaRon eventually, and I know a lot of people probably have a lot of the same criticisms for it. But yeah, we'll get to it. Don't worry about it. So then, last but not least, we got the Squall Festival collaboration. Actually released in 2015, and we have Wow Wow Powerful Day and No Exit Orion. I don't really like Wow Wow Powerful Day. I'm not crazy about the verse or the chorus. It's meh. And then we have No Exit Orion, which a lot of people really do seem to like that song. I think it's okay. It's a decent song. But No Exit Orion, I don't know, I feel like something's missing in there for me to really like it. I've definitely come to appreciate it more, especially after, seeing it so many times in All Stars. But I still prefer other Printemps songs. So out of all of these, like the songs that, I would probably listen to once in a while, it would be Museum de Doshitai, I Am Friends, maybe Pure Ghost Project, and these two up here, Love Marginal and Sweet Sweet Holiday. But I Am Friends is probably the main one I'll probably listen to from Printemps. So, going back to the beginning here, how do I feel about this group overall? I think Printemps overall gets a lot of hate, and I feel that is unjustified. A lot of people just throw away the whole group because they listen to one song and they're like, wow, high-pitched voices, garbage. And that's not fair. There are songs in there that I'm sure some of these people appreciate if they actually gave it a chance. And I mean, I was kind of like that initially too, where I was just like, I don't care about this group. They're all high-pitched singers. But, if you gotta give each song a fair chance. With that being said, though, there are more misses in this group than I had with someone like Bibi. And there wasn't any home runs either, so it's kind of like a C minus-ish area for me for Printemps. They had some decent songs, but they also had some kind of big whiffs for me. I'm going to be nice because I do like some of these songs a decent amount, but it's barely out of a D, if I were to be honest with you. But they have some good songs. But unfortunately for me, there's just a few songs I just don't really care that much for. I don't think they're an F. That's just wrong. And people who say that don't really know the group and gave the songs a fair chance. I still think there is some decent songs in there. But it's not for everybody. If you don't like cheery and bright songs, okay, that cuts like half the songs out. But how about Love Marginal? And stuff like that. Next up, we got Lily White There you are. So last up for Muse, we have Lily White. So of course, Lily White is the group that was focused on innocence and purity and kind of that traditional Japanese beauty, where they're simple and, you know, something like Umi really represents. And if you learn what a Lily White meant in flower language, you kind of got that exact same message. But they also modeled on, was it the Showa idols as well? So we can go look about them, and you can learn more about their history and such, how they got to the names as well. But we're just going to be focusing on their songs here. So, first and foremost, the first single we have is Shin I Love, Oshiete Love. So, this is definitely kind of the typical style they feel they really built in it. And you can think, oh, they kind of have that message of purity and innocence. But I feel like these kind of songs, especially the first two songs, really establishes the style of where they got inspired from. So, if you can go back up. I remember reading it somewhere. Where is it? Everything's based on here. Yeah, so right here. They're themed after the Showa era. So if you listen to some of the songs from the Showa era, which is 80s or 90s or something like that from Japan, and you can even, I would recommend like looking up what like Showa idols are. You can kind of see that they have a similar kind of style of outfits, and these songs match that kind of style. That being said, for these kind of songs, I kind of find them pretty fun. They got definitely a faster upbeat to them, and Shin I Love, Oshiete Love, and Anone Ganbare definitely really build that kind of image. Overall, I think it was had both solid songs. So then next up we have the second single from Lily White. We have Binetsu Kara Mystery and Kimi no Kuseni. Honestly, pretty good album, or single should I say. My favorite is still probably Kimi no Kuseni. I think I'm in the minority from that. But that one's a fun song. It's about basically the girls are singing about how they have a guy who doesn't see the girls as love interests, and they're just friends, and they're like, well, why are we still friends? Why can't we be something more? I don't know, I kind of find it's a little positive, cheery song, and I just kind of find it a little cute, especially when you learn about the lyrics. It's just a fun song to listen to. Nothing too crazy, nothing crazy fast-paced, but I found that a fun song to listen to. Binetsu Kara Mystery is definitely faster paced. Definitely try to also build that beach image that they really wanted for this second single. And I actually do think it's a pretty good song as well if you want to listen to something a little faster. Then we get to the third single. We have Aki no Anata no Sora Toku and Futari Happiness. I'm going to start with Futari Happiness. That song is so slow. I recently talked about it. This is definitely one of the longest songs still in existence in Love Live. I think it's 6 minutes exactly. But dear God, does it feel like 6 minutes. That song is really slow. And it's definitely one of the misses for me from Lily White. Because it's just too slow. But Aki no Anata no Sorotoku, solid song. Again, I believe this is definitely more of that kind of traditional Lily White style. And to be honest, a decent amount of these songs from Lily White really have that kind of Showa idol style. So if you kind of listen to one, you kind of got the gist of the others. So, you know, if you especially like Shin I Love, Oshiete Love, Ano Gambare, you're going to probably like some of the other ones which kind of fill that similar-esque style. Of course, they have their own different instrumentals and rhythms, but they all kind of blend together. So, I mean, even this one, I would say that, and Otohime, Heart, the Love, Kyuren, all kind of have a similar vein into it. And in fact, I keep mixing them up in my head because they all kind of have a similar style. And sometimes it's hard for me to pick one over the other because I'm like, I don't know, man. They kind of have a similar kind of feel to them. But yeah, they're all good though. I like them all. But the last single we got here, of course, is the Squall Festival one. We have 思い出以上になりたくて, which that is a little bit slower, but I do think it's a good song. But it's hard to argue the really big winner in this single, and that's Shunjo Romantic. A lot of people agree this song is fantastic, and that still to this day is my favorite Little White song, and that one clears all the other ones by a good amount. Shunjo Romantic is just incredibly fun to listen to. It's got the passion, and you just got a tempo that I really love listening to, and that song is still great. And unlike the other subunits in Muse, this is a true song that I listen to a lot because I really like this one. This one is absolutely fantastic and definitely really helps Lily White in my opinion. So, now the question is, where do I rank them? Lily White is an A for me. Lily White has done a boatload of songs. Of course, the one missed, honestly, for me, is still Futari Happiness. But Shunjo Romantic is definitely one of the songs that I really, really like. That song carries the subunit so hard, but it's so good. And it definitely is a top, 20, 30 lullaby song for me. It's just fantastic. And all the other songs are, of course, good too. But a lot of them are kind of like, they're decent, but nothing like amazing. But with Lily White, you're going to get a boatload of good songs, especially if you like that kind of style. With Shunjo Romantic is just fantastic. And that alone makes it so I cannot put it in B. So that's what I have for Muse, but I like Lily White. It was my favorite first subunit, especially because when I started listening, that was before Azalea and CYaRon and all the other subunits, because these even Aqours and Muse didn't exist when I started listening to songs. So Lily White was the one that I really clinged on to, and I still like him to this day. All right, so we got those three done. I could probably just close these. Let's move on to CYaRon. Woo! CYaRon, or the way it looks like it's CYaRon, is what I used to call it. I got called out so hard on that early in my career, making YouTube videos. I used to call it that because I didn't know any better, and I never really heard a pronunciation. CYaRon, because that's just the way Japanese works. So definitely, the thing about these units, you can definitely, for Aqours subunits, you can definitely draw some parallels, and they kind of feel similar as styles. So of course, CYaRon is going to be paired with Printemps. So generally, opinions on those two are kind of similar. But of course, they have some different songs in there that you got to keep in mind. So for CYaRon, we got these three girls. Of course, the big thing about CYaRon is we got Chika, Yo, and Ruby. That's why the C, Y, and R are capitalized. Why they couldn't make a crayon, I don't know. I still ask myself to this day. I know some people say, well, that makes the C, R, and Y capital, right? You don't want to tell people to cry, right? Well, people already do that when they see this group anyways. So I don't think that changed much, but I don't know. I thought Crayon would be kind of a fun name. They're a colorful group, and that's the kind of image that they have, but I don't know. I wasn't there. So let's go and cover this group then. So the first single we have for them is Genki Zenkai Day 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 and Yozura wa Nandemo Chiteru no. So for this group, this first kind of style they're establishing is that they kind of bright and they got a lot of energy. And you can see that from the image that they have for the single. Genki Zenkai Day Day Day. I'd say it's a pretty fun song. I liked it. I liked it a little bit more as I listened more to it over time. And, especially when they added to the All-Stars. And when I saw the MV a little bit more in here and there, it's like, you know what? I kind of like the chorus. But it's not something I'm crazy in love with. But I think the chorus is pretty decent. And there's some fun stuff you can do with it. Yozuwa Nandemo Shitara no, it's a slower song. And the one thing I keep thinking about when I think about the song is they have that water sound effect. But it's definitely a lot slower song. It's kind of a little too slow for me, but it's still a fine song to listen to. It's chill. But I don't know. Overall, it's alright. Then we have the bonus CD for CYaRon. We have PS no Mokugawa. Oftentimes I kind of forgot this song existed for a while because it was just a bonus CD. But I listened to them a good amount, especially when I was making my top Love Live songs, and I gotta say, it's still kind of fun to listen to, honestly. And I feel like a handful of CYaRon songs can be pretty fun to listen to if you actually give them a try. And I think PS no Mokugawa does that. And even if we continue to the second single here, we also I get this kind of a similar feeling. So, Kinmirai Happy End and Kaigandori de Matteru Yo. So, they're definitely both, I feel like, kind of a similar-esque vein. You know, they all had the different styles, and they're trying to make themselves the kind of that bright, happy, cheery group. And they all have those kind of pieces that I like, where, like, you know, I call it kind of like when I saw in All-Stars when they added the Kinmirai Happy End to kind of do that, what I call like the Ruby Peak, I kind of found out was cool, and some of the elements of the MV, I like that actually, and helped me to appreciate the song more. Does Over the Rainbow have any bonus songs? Yes, but they're just first years, second years, and third years. So for the collaboration for the movie, they had the what's it called? Hajimari Road. Marine Border Parasol, and Yosoku Fukunao Driving. I nailed it. But yeah, those were the songs. So next up we have Sakura Bye Bye. I think it's a fight song. So I remember when these songs came out, and we had that one, and we had the one for Azalea, which we'll talk to later, and Guilty Kiss. I like Guilty Kisses most. It was Guilty Farewell Party. Sakura Bye Bye was decent, and Azalea was also decent. I don't know. I didn't remember those coming out, and I thought it's a decent song. So then we go to the Squall Festival collaboration single here, where we have Braveheart Coaster, Changeless, and Kodoku Teleport. Honestly, I think my favorite is Kodoku Teleport, even though it is a slower song. It's kind of got that really different style that I kind of appreciate. I don't know if I'm weird for that, but it kind of had a nice feel to it. And of course, Braveheart Coaster, I know a lot of things they talked about Braveheart Coaster there, especially when if you watch the live, they had it where they had the girls go on roller coasters. Wow, I wonder where they got that concept from. And like, you gotta be brave and stuff. But for the most part, though, for Braveheart Coaster and Changeless is songs that I just are alright about, honestly. But Kodoku Teleport is definitely one song that I'd occasionally listen to. It's more of I listen for a change of pace. It's a nice song. It's a little slow, but it's decent. And then we have Aruhi Ayan Mitai ni Whistle of Revolution. And then there's the two remixes. Those aren't new songs. And then Dragon Riders. I would say my favorite was Aruhi Ayan Mitai ni Whistle of Revolutions. I didn't care for that song. But the one I do want to talk about the most is Dragon Riders. Cool name, first of all. And I like the outfits they did. And I remember watching it live, and I'm like, wow, I kind of like these outfits and some of the elements of it. But Dragon Riders was kind of trying to do the traditional Chinese kind of inspired instrumentals or some kind of oriental feeling to it. And then you start with that, and they kind of got rid of it, or it's like it's towards the real. It's like really in the background and no longer the focus. And it was like, no, we're going back to CYaRon style. And I was kind of like, well, okay. So I don't know. I felt like they could have leaned more into that. I thought it would have been really cool, and I kind of like the fact they try to do that Oriental kind of style of the instrumentals, but it kind of took the backseat pretty quick. And yeah, I don't really care for that song. Cool name though. I was kind of disappointed though for that song. I thought it could have been even more, but there was potential in that, and that's what I saw from it. So overall, how do I feel about this group? So my main complaint about CYaRon is that it has a bunch of decent songs, but it hasn't done a single song that I really loved, and that's something that really holds it back. But you know, there isn't really a big miss for me either. So the way I see it is C+ probably, where I put CYaRon, because they have some songs I do like and I occasionally listen to. I think Printemps overall has a little bit higher highs for me than CYaRon does, but I think CYaRon has a better average, because there are a few songs from Printemps that I'm just like, please don't make me listen to. So I'm going to leave it at C+ for me. Alright, so we got CYaRon done. We're going to move to the next subunit. So of course that was going to be Guilty Kiss. So where does Guilty Kiss go, right? For a lot of people, I'm sure it's probably in the S. And Guilty Kiss has really won a lot of people's hearts. And it's definitely, probably, if I had to make a poll, people would probably say this is their favorite. Is Guilty Kiss the best subunit? Well, let's take a look at Guilty Kiss. So of course Guilty Kiss is with Riko, Mari, and Yoshiko, and they sing together very well. I still find Riko a little bit of an odd mix for these girls, but vocal-wise, I mean, she fits. I don't think that's her personality, but I guess season 2, when she started being more with Yoshiko, that kind of changed. But let's talk about the songs though. So for Guilty Kiss, here we go. So of course, Guilty Kiss debuts with Strawberry Trapper and Guilty Night Guilty Kiss. I like Guilty Night Guilty Kiss a little more, honestly. Don't hate me for that, saying that, but I know a lot of people really love Strawberry Trapper. I still like the song, honestly. I think it's a tiny bit overrated, but I do see the appeal, and especially when you watch the All-Stars MV, that's a fun song to watch and listen to. They have a lot of cool moments in there. But still, my personal favorite to listen to is Guilty Night Guilty Kiss. Guilty Night Guilty Kiss has a little more of a pop feeling to it. And if you ever get an opportunity to see it live, I thought it was really cool when they were dancing and then they had that platform beneath them, and you see all like the kisses going on off that. That was really fun to see. But Strawberry Trapper is still a good song, but Guilty Night Guilty Kiss is a little better for me. But dang, they came out swinging in the first single. Next up, we have a Guilty Eyes Guilty Fever. So I guess they continued the trend with putting Guilty in their song name. Guilty Eyes Guilty Fever, I think it's a solid song as well. It's not as solid for me as like Guilty and Guilty Kiss, but the song does hit hard, pretty hard as well. And you listen to the instrumentals, they come out and they're not shy about it. The second single for Guilty Kiss, we had Koro Yasuki and Shadowgate to Love. I know a lot of people are big fans of Koro Yasuki. I don't quite see it as much. I think it's a decent song, but out of all the ones I mentioned beforehand, I like these more than I did Koro Yasuki. Shadowgate to Love, I like Shadowgate to Love a little more than Kawada Yasuki. It's a little bit slow. It's slower than compared to the other songs, but I still do like that song. But for me, I still prefer the other songs to the second single. I know I'm probably in the minority for that, but I still say it on the one so far. The first single really did a pretty dang good job. For the bonus CD, we have Guilty Farewell Party. I like this one. I seem to like a lot of the songs that have Guilty in the name, but Guilty Farewell Party, that's a fun song to listen to. And out of all those bonus CDs, I would say that's my favorite out of all the Aqours subunits. This is a fun song to listen to, honestly. And then we got to the Squall Festival collaboration single. Here we got New Romantic Sailors, Love Pulsar, and Phantom Rocket Adventure. So this single has one good song, or should I say one amazing song, and two that are kind of forgotten. So, of course, the song that really won was New Romantic Sailors. That song is fantastic, and that's still my favorite Guilty Kiss song. That one is just got so much energy, and that is just so fun to listen to. And they even got the Rico Beam in there. Just a quintessential experience for Guilty Kiss, and one I just find that really vibes with me. It's just a good song overall. Love Pulsar. So Love Pulsar is an interesting song. If you ever had like a hauling party, that's probably one of the songs I would recommend, because it kind of goes for more of that Halloween style where they try and go a little creepy and stuff, and go like with their laughs, and kind of almost sound like witches. But past that, it's an okay song, but it's okay. I don't know what else to really say about that. Phantom Rocket Adventure. I don't know. Honestly, I kind of forget what it sounds like, honestly. But it's an alright song. And last but not least, we have the Shooting Star Warrior album. So we got Shooting Star Warrior, Deep Sea Cocoon, and Nameless Love Song. All three of the songs I think are pretty good. The Nameless Love Song is one that I definitely kind of like the chorus for that. Where to say Nameless Love Song and such. I find it kind of catchy. Overall, I think it's a pretty solid album as well. So, from Guilty Kiss, I would say New Romantic Sailors, that is the one big winner I have from this one. That was just fantastic. If I were to think about best single, that's a good question. It's hard. I can't really say a single song by itself is a single, but I kind of like the first single, but I might give it to the Shooting Star Warrior album, because I think we have a good mix of decent amount of songs. This one I feel is a little front heavy for me. New Romantic Sailors is just superb. I like the outfits. This is all just overall fun. But overall, it's mainly New Romantic Sailors that carries this one for me. But this has a good amount of songs in it that are pretty good. So, bottom line, where does Guilty Kiss go? So Guilty Kiss has a lot of good songs. It does have a few songs that are a little more okay for me, but Guilty Kiss hasn't had a song that I would consider a miss. For maybe when I first listened to a few songs, I was like, I don't know about it, but I listened to them more, and yeah, I kind of got over that. So overall, I think Guilty Kiss has done a fantastic job. So where does Guilty Kiss go? So for Guilty Kiss, for me, S-. Guilty Kiss just does a fantastic job, and they rarely disappoint. Watching their lives are always just so fun, and they just really bring it to the table. So like S-, A+ is kind of where I feel that they belong, because I really do like what Guilty Kiss does, even though they're not really fully my kind of style. I like what Guilty Kiss has to bring, and it's a solid subunit. They do a fantastic job overall. Alright, so last but not least, for Aqours subunits, we have Azalea. I like Azalea. Azalea has been definitely one of my favorite subunits, period. I know that kind of spoils where I'm going to put it, but let's talk a little bit more about that. So, of course, Azalea is a flower. And it's kind of like the similar kind of style that we saw from Lily White. They kind of have that elegance, purity kind of thing going for them. So let's take a look at some of their songs that they have. One thing I do want to mention about Azalea is that they had one of the options for their names was Kanaria. So K-A-N for Kanan, A-R for Hanamaru, and I-A for Daya. Thought that was a cool name. I was kind of sad that they didn't pick it, but I still like Azalea though. But yeah, so Azalea means patient or modest. Alright, so Azalea. First single for Azalea, we have Toriko Please and Tokimeki Bunigaku. Two songs that are right next to each other in the alphabet when you alphabetize them. So, honestly, this single, it's been like one of my favorite singles for a subunit ever. Just two really quality songs. Now, the one song I'm sure less people care about is Tokimeki Bunigaku, and I kind of get it. So Tokimeki Bunigaku starts off really slow, and when I first listened to it, I'm like, dang, this is slow, and I just turned it off. I'm like, sounds alright, sounds nice, but I want to listen to some fun songs. But give it a second to get the second chorus a chance. Once the song picks up, oh boy, does this song get a lot more interesting. And that's my main complaint, because I just don't really like listening to the first chorus that much. It's just a little too slow. Not enough stuff is happening that's interesting there. Well, when the second chorus happens, or the second verse, they add that extra layer of instrumentals that makes it a lot more interesting experience. And once you get to the solo part, whatever you call the bridge, when they are literally spelling out Azalea, that is one of the peak moments just for songs in general for me from Love Live. I think that part is so good to listen to and really brings up my opinion of that song. It's definitely one that once I actually, gave the song a chance, I actually really appreciated this one. It's definitely a good one. Toriko Please is just one of my favorite songs from Love Live in general. This one's a fast pace, and it almost feels like it's like a mech anime opening or something. It's really fast, it's fun, it's exhilarating, and when I listened to that song, I already knew I was gonna like Azalea, and I still do today. That single right there is just so good. So, definitely a reason why I'm still a fan to this day. Let's spell Azalea, yeah. And it is A-Z-A-L-E-A, Azalea. That part was really cool. Then next up, we have Lonely Tuning. So the Lonely Tuning was kind of, I don't really kind of care for the beginning of that. They start with the radio and switch, and I'm like, I guess if your name's Lonely Tuning, I guess you're tuning the radio. I don't know. I skip it every time because I don't really care for that part. It's just not that interesting, and I know some other songs do it, but I don't know. I think other songs do it a little better. I think they do it for too long. And one of my main complaints is too much auto-tuning. Again, I get it. It's called Lonely Tuning, but it doesn't mean you have to auto-tune as well. The auto-tuning is just too much, and I'm not really a fan of auto-tuning. I'm listening to hear people sing, not robots sing. And it's just a little too much at some segments. I wish it wasn't so apparent, and it kind of hurts my opinion of that song overall. But otherwise, it's still a fine song to listen to. But it definitely hurts my opinion on this one. So next up, we have the second single by Azalea, where we had Galaxy Hide and Seek and Innocent Bird. Galaxy Hide and Seek, oh boy, is that a fun song. when they added that MV in All Stars, I was so happy. It looks so cool, and if I ever were to be like a director for like MVs, Galaxy Hide and Seek is definitely one of the things I would sign up to do, because I have great ideas of what could happen in that, and I would like to see the imagery of like the galaxy or the universe and the sky behind them with all the stars. That just looks so nice. It's just overall really fun to listen to, and debatably one of my favorite Azalea songs. It's kind of been between that and Torikoriko Please, and those are two songs that I really like from Azalea. Innocent Bird is one song I didn't really like when I first listened to it. I listened to it more and I liked it a little bit more now. I think initially when I first listened to it, I'm like, why does it sound like a disco? I don't know where I got that idea from, but it's a pretty decent song. It's nowhere near anything it's nowhere near Galaxy Hide and Seek for me, but I still think it's a fun song. All I gotta say for Galaxy Hide and Seek, it's annoying to spell it that way. I get they capitalize the outside letters for hide and seek, but it's like, are you trying to do that to make it look cool? I guess so. And then we get to Sotsugyo desu ne. It's still a good song from Azalea. It's just a little slower, so it's often one of these Azalea songs that I kind of just push it aside, because I could listen to the song, but why not listen to an Azalea song that's a little more fun and interesting? It's still a decent song, but I often find myself just listening to other ones. Okay, and then Amazing Travel DNA single. So, of course, that has Amazing Travel DNA, Kuchu Renairon, and Maze Sekai. Amazing Travel DNA is a fantastic song. Maybe third best Azalea song, I would say. It's definitely a fun song to listen to, and from the get-go, you can kind of get that energy, and it's really fun. And I kind of like the background they have for this one. That looks really cool with all the lights. The other two songs are good, but they're not quite on the level for Amazing Travel DNA for me. Kuchu Renairon is number 2, and I guess in the album, but number 2 in the single for me. And that's also a fun song to listen to as well. And the one thing that stuck out to me is they used a police siren in the song. I'm not sure why. Maybe if I actually checked the lyrics, I would understand why. But I always found that goofy to me. Meisekai is a decent song as well, but it's my least favorite out of that single. But I still think it's a pretty solid song. But that's a solid single right there. 3 solid songs. And then last but not least, we have the We'll Get the Next Dream. So We'll Get the Next Dream, we have 3 songs in here. We'll Get the Next Dream, Phoenix Dance, and Metamorphism. So this definitely had a very different style that we're used to from Azalea. And I don't know, they can go and experiment and do different things. But I still like the other songs that Azalea's done more than these. Not to say that these are bad, because they're still pretty decent, but they're a bit slower overall. We'll Get the Next Dream. It's kind of like I'm waiting for stuff to happen, and then the chorus happens. I'm like, okay, finally we get something. And it'll just say, we'll get the next dream. And I'm like, Atarashi, we'll get the next dream. And then I'm back to the verse. I'm just like, that's it? Because I'm like, when you're doing the chorus, I'm like, oh, this is kind of fun. But that's kind of it. Phoenix Dance. Definitely different style. And I think it's kind of, I mean, these are kind of fun and different, but they're not really songs that I listen to that often. I go listen to them if I want to get something different. And of course, some people might like those kind of different styles. But it's like, if you're a fan of Azalea, I don't know if you would necessarily be a fan of the single. So it's kind of is a little more different and kind of has a different style to it. And I'm a fan of Azalea. And, you know, I liked a lot of these songs up here. When I come to here, it's kind of like, you know, these are decent. But none of these are, like, songs that I would say hit out of the park. But overall, I think Azalea has done a fantastic job. And there's legitimately no misses. Like, not even a little bit. Each song I say I would be happy to listen to. So where does Azalea go? There's nowhere to go but as for me. And I like Azalea a little bit more than Guilty Kiss. Azalea for me has been one of my favorite subunits in Love Live in general. They do a fantastic job every single time. I know some people say that Kanon has a little bit higher pitched voice and sometimes she can feel a little out and not necessarily mesh as well. And I can kind of see that to a degree, but I still think she fits still pretty well. And, you know, Dai does a fantastic job and Hanuman does a fantastic job. Overall, Azalea has been fantastic, and I still really like them overall. Azalea is an S for me, and I like Azalea. Who knows if they're going to get more songs in the future? We don't know. Like, how long has it been? 2021. It's been 2 years since they released new songs. So, I guess it was 2 years between Amazing Travel and We'll Get Next Stream, but it's been a while since we got any new songs. Will we get any? Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know the future of Love Live Sunshine. We got the Yohaname, but if the new songs come out from them, I'll definitely look forward to them. I do like Azalea a lot, and I'm definitely a fan. Alright, so now we got through Aqours. Next up is the Nijigaku. Let's drag you over here. Alright, what do you guys want me to hit first? ZuNa, DiverDiva, Quartz, or Rebirth? Actually, I'll save Rebirth for last. So I'll let you guys decide. I can actually just make a poll, right? If I remember how to do that. Engage with my audience. Ooh, let's do this. Let's see. ZuNa. DiverDiva. I'm gonna find out a spell. Okay. Boom. Alright, let's put that up there. A lot of you saying ZuNa, but go ahead and vote. I'll give you like a minute and I'll just answer questions while we wait. Nijigaku has the most rarest combinations of girls for the subunits. I know one of the big focuses on Nijigaku was to do, they literally said you had to be 2, 3, and 4. And I remember back in the day where we're forming those. And I looked at these combinations, I'm like, okay, I see ZuNa, I get it. DiverDiva, I'm like, that's a little odd, but okay. And Quartz, I'm like, I just kind of feel like the leftover girls. I'm like, how does Marina fit in there? Well, here we are today. I think got some pretty decent songs. Okay. I think it's abundantly clear you guys want me to do ZuNa. We're just going to do ZuNa then. Alright. Let's do ZuNa, right? Okay. Will you do other Love Live rankings? Possibly Love Live rival group rankings? If you guys like this kind of stuff, sure. I don't mind. You know, if guys come up with ideas later, we can do that. So, okay, so for ZuNa, it's for one of the subunits I have the most internal conflicts with. Because every time I look at this unit, I'm like, wow, this group oozes potential. And I remember when I saw the name for ZuNa, I'm like, that is a W name. I love that name. Why couldn't I think of a name that good? I wish I did. But I'm like, I really like ZuNa, I like Shizuku, I like Ayumu, I like their voices. They can mesh so well together. This is going to be a fantastic subunit. I can't wait. Well, then the song's released, and some of my optimism disappeared. And, man, a little disappointed in him. But let's talk about some of the songs, because there are some good songs, but there are also some other songs in there as well. So of course, Asuna is A for Ayumu, Z from Shizuku, and A, Na from ZuNa. And that's why I really love the name. So first and foremost, Azuna Land, we had the Dream World single. So this was, of course, going based off the concept of Azuna Land. A land of the subunit. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. I would like to go to Azuna Land. A land based on Azuna, whatever that means. But here's the thing. The identity of Azuna is like they don't have an identity at all. What is their identity? What kind of songs do they sing? Well, they're like, we don't have an identity, so our identity is everything. And we're like an amusement park, a combination of a bunch of things put together. And I'm like, what? That's not an identity. What do you guys share? What kind of style do you have? And not that you're forced to stay with that style, but I'm just like, that sounds like kind of a lame concept. And I'm still not crazy about that concept at all. It's kind of like, my style is, I don't got a style. I kind of find it weird. So, anyway, to the songs, we have Dreamland, Dreamworld. It's some singing about Azuna Land. Honestly, though, it's a fun song. I do like the song. Whether other people agree, I don't really care. I still find it a fun song to listen to. Cheer for You. No thanks. I complained about this song when it came out, and I'm still not crazy about it. The song came out on my freaking birthday, and I was like, this is gonna be great. And I listened to it for you, and I'm like, never mind. Can I get a refund on my birthday, please? I don't know. If you like Cheer for You, that's great for you guys. It's definitely not a song I care for whatsoever. Dreamland does pretty decent. Next up is Kakushiaji. So Kakushiaji's kind of like a jazzy kind of style song. Pretty good song, honestly. I like to listen to this one. It's definitely a fun song to listen to. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I feel about a lot of the songs. And then we had another bonus CD. So this was when people got a vote on certain ideas of what they want each subunit to sing. So, eventually talk about that for what the other ones was. But the one that Azuna was to sing was a Cat Day song. What? What? How do you even make a song now? Props to the staff for making a song based on Cat Day. Why was that a concept? I have no clue. But honestly, it's not bad of a song, honestly. It's kind of fun to listen to. Of course, they're like, yeah, 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 and happy, yeah, 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 and whatever the chorus was like that. What the heck? I mean, if you got some cat lovers, I guess send them this song. I guess they will love that. But it's also not a bad song. It's just, every time I think about how this was created, I shake my head. I'm just like, really? This is what we got? Okay. It sure is unique. I don't know if we're going to get anything like that. Maybe we'll get a Dog Day song or Summer Day dog song. I don't know. Definitely a weird one. Next up, we got the Mazetown single. Definitely the one that I think a lot of people will talk about when they like Azuna. As this one is a dramatic shift for Azuna. And you can see, based on the outfits, it's a maze town, whatever that means. I don't know, a town of mazes. But they definitely got a little more of that Halloween-esque style. Although it was released in June. I'm a little early for that. But Mazetown definitely had that more dramatic style. They were wearing the black and white dresses. Kind of looks like they belong in jail, but it's definitely got a big shift for that. And that's what, by the time we got to there, I was kind of asking, for Azuna, try something a little more deeper, something a little more cool, dramatic, something leaning maybe a little more towards Setsuna style, and seeing what we can do with Azalea. And for that, I was happy to see that change. Maze Town is a pretty good song. I don't love it as much as other people do, even though I tend to like a little more of some of the other Azalea songs, a little more Maze Town. I still think it's good that they tried this. And then we also got Folklore Kanki no Uta. Honestly, decent song, actually. When I actually gave it a shot, it was kind of fun to listen to. And if you haven't listened to the song, I would tell you guys give it a chance. It's kind of got a little bright happiness to it, which is very different from Maze Town. And it's definitely an interesting single by Azalea. Then we got Infinity Are Wings and Poker Face Onegai Fairy. I know a lot of people don't really care for Infinity Are Wings. When I remember, if I remember correctly, when we did the poll for all the insert songs in the anime, this was last place, right? That's a little harsh, guys. I actually kind of like this song. The odd thing about Infinity Are Wings, though, it's kind of mirrors the group as a whole, is three girls with different styles put together. Well, how about three different styles in a song put together that don't really seem to mesh well together? It's kind of okay, but it's kind of like, oh, I'm going fast and I'm going slow and I'm in the middle. It's weird, but I still like the chorus for the song. I still think the outfits are silly and stupid, honestly. If I had to be honest with you, why are they wearing those gloves of animals and we got the weird ears? Why, like, we got a panda, bunny, and bear? I know. I get it. Shizuku has a bear card. Ayumi's Ayumu Pion and all that, but it's one of the worst outfits I've seen, in my opinion. It's such a weird outfit. And the song ain't too shabby. Hey, how you doing, Noel? And then we got Poker Face Onegai Fairy. Honestly, I keep forgetting that song, what it sounds like. If I remember correctly, I thought it was alright. So then we go to Romance no Nakade. So this was Azalea's attempt at doing a romance song. Obviously, it's a little slower love song, and honestly, I like this one. It's not like the most amazing one, but I think this is something Azalea can do very well. And, you know, give it a few more tries. You know, maybe they'll get something that really hits it out the park. This one's definitely a nice song. And then, last but not least, we had the third single, the most recent one. We have Blue. And, of course, this will be the last for Setsuna's Seiyu, but she hasn't sang any new songs yet, so we don't have to worry about that yet. So, we got Blue and Dancing Light, which both songs, I would say, honestly, are pretty good. No, I would say really hit it out part. I do like Blue a little bit more, and especially when you consider chorus, I find it a little catchy. And I thought, you know, this time these girls are underwater, and they're kind of like mermaids almost with the outfits. I like that concept. But overall, when we look back in Azalea has a handful of decent songs. It has one song I don't really care for, but Azalea fails to impress. And you know what, a group where I really love Setsuna, really like Ayumu. I like her solo songs. I like her style, and I also like Shizuku. And I thought, bam, three girls I really like. I like their style. I like the songs. They can mesh well together, and I don't know. Their style is not a style. It's we're gonna try something different every single time, and there's no connection in between. It's kind of like, how do you make fans of something where it's very, very different every single time? I don't know. It's kind of odd. It's just an oddity for me. But they have a bunch of decent songs. So where do they belong? Yes. I'm gonna put them at C. I like them a little bit more than CYaRon and Printemps in general because they have a bunch of decent songs. But I'm still disappointed because every time I think about it, I'm like, they have a lot of potential to make a song that I could really love, but they just don't. And that's what it makes me a little disappointed every single time. I do like some of their songs, genuinely. I do listen to them once in a while. But they definitely don't have a song that really hits it out of the park for me. And they're just a bunch of decent songs. So that's why I put them in C. I know I say I'm disappointed, and that's second with GS, but I'm not disappointed by their songs. I'm disappointed they can't reach their potential. And from their potential, I thought, this could be an A group for something like that. I don't know. I know some people will put it higher because they like Maze Town. I'm okay with Maze Town. And that's supposed to be the one song that really carries people's opinions of Azalea and boosts them up. For me, it's just okay. I want it to be better. I love the name. It sounds great, but it's sad. It saddens me every time I think of the potential and it's not there. Alright. Enough crying. Let's do DiverDiva, I guess. They're next up. Alright. So, DiverDiva. One word, if you didn't know. DiverDiva is the formation of Cotton and I. And the kind of big idea you think about it is one has got a darker outfit, darker hair. One's got a really bright blonde outfit, bright, cheery personality. And what we get? Two kind of opposites. One's the more cool style, and one's a little more smile, bright style. So, if you think about it, have you ever seen the animation from All Stars for the special SBA activation? It's a sun and a moon. And when I look at that, I'm like, you know what? That's pretty interesting. And the way they approach their songs is they have those two different styles that work together. And you know what? It actually works pretty well because someone does the singing and someone can do the echoes, or someone does the rap and someone does something else. And that's what we listen to in other songs in pop culture, and maybe some with raps in there. It actually works kind of well. Let's take a look at DiverDiva songs. So, first off, first single for DiverDiva, we have Supernova and Love Triangle. Supernova, the NV is pretty cool. I think that's a cool name. I think it's an okay song. I'm not crazy about Supernova. I like Love Triangle a little bit more. It was kind of like, oh, that's kind of it's a little slower, but kind of like, how I feel about Kodoku Teleport. It's got kind of that cool style to it that I really liked. And it sounds like a song I really, really, really love. But I was like, wow, this is kind of unique. And I actually did like that song a little more than Supernova. But I thought it was a pretty nice one. Next up, we have Power Spot. Power Spot. I like that song. I remember when I first listened to it, I'm like, oh, that's okay. But the more and more I listen to Power Spot, the more and more and more and more I come to like it. Power Spot is just such a fun song to listen to. Jeez. I just really like listening to this. I listened to this actually a good amount of times. The one with vocals and one without vocals. Just Cotton and I put together such a good song. They come off together so well. I honestly find this one just so thrilling to listen to. And it's like one person goes sings and then someone does the echo or the little mix up, and it's kind of like, honestly, this song is one of my favorite subunit songs, period. It's not my favorite ever, but this is a huge win for me, and I really, 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 really like this song. And it's kind of funny because I didn't when I first listened to it, but it's a thrilling experience to listen to. Next up, we have Saika Saika. it's always a pain to type this out sometimes, especially on YouTube, because that's how you get crossouts. So it looks like I'm crossing out the second Psycha. Psycho Psycho was created because they want to do a festival theme for the songs. So of course we had the Cat Day one. For DiverDiva, we had the festival song. And it's kind of thing about festival and fireworks and hanabis and all that in Japan. So when you listen to this song, that's the kind of imagery I think of when I listen to this one. It's definitely a little bit slower, but when the chorus hits, it hits hard. And I honestly do like the song. I liked it a little more when I listened to it. It's kind of fallen off a bit. This is still a good song, but it's not like Power Spot or anything. It's still a fine song to listen to for sure. You got a subunit name for Liella, Popsicle Festo. We'll get to them eventually. Next up, we have the second single for DiverDiva. We got The Secret Night and Fly Into the Sky. The single is fine. The Secret Night got some decent. You know, they shot The Secret Night and it got some pretty interesting instrumentals. The chorus is a little underwhelming for me though. It's nothing special, and you know, if you don't nail the chorus, then the song kind of falters overall. But the verses though are pretty cool overall. Fly in the Sky is alright. It's a little slower, and I don't see anything that really pulls me into that song overall. Then we go to the intro single for season 2. We got Eternal Light and Koitsu the Magic. Eternal Light's pretty good. I know a lot of people bash me for not putting this like number 1. I don't know. I still like it. It's kind of got that cool space theme. Still a little confused by what the stage they use, but it's definitely got some pretty cool instrumentals, and I liked it. Koitsu the Magic's pretty good as well. I can't remember too off the top of my head because I don't listen to that crazy often, but overall I think this was a pretty solid experience. And then we have the bonus CD with you on it because, you know, she's part of DiverDiva, and it's Fashionista. I like Fashionista as well. Not as much as I would say like Power Spot, but it's definitely got a good amount of spunk to it. And I don't know, I don't hear a whole lot of people talking about Fashionista. I honestly, like, this is a song that I do like, and it kind of has kind of a similar, you know, I don't know if I would say similar feel to Power Spot, but it's definitely a song that I come to like. And like, wants to be a fashionista and all that kind of stuff. And then the most recent one for the third single, we have Shadow Effect. So we got Shadow Effect and Kiss the Sun. And honestly, pretty cool concept we got here. I like the album cover, the art. They're on a moon and you can see the art in the background. And the songs kind of tried to mirror that style, where you gotta get like a spacey feel to it. Honestly, pretty dang cool. The songs themselves are, you know, good, but they're not ones that really hit it out of the park for me. But I do like the fact they're trying this style. I thought it was a pretty cool concept. Of course, I think they could have been a little better in some areas, but I still like listening to them. But overall, for DiverDiva, it has really two big wins for me. Power Spot is a huge W. I guess it literally has a W in it. And Fashionista is probably my second favorite out of these songs. So all those in mind, where would I put DiverDiva? Well, that is a good question. I'm going to give him an A+. I was considering giving him an S-, but see, they have Power Spot, and I love that song to death. And I also really like Fashionista, but I don't know if it does enough for me to justify going into an S per se, because the rest of the songs are good, but there's a few that I just feel like, they're alright. And there's too many alright songs for me to justify them going into the spectacular tier. But Power Spot, so good overall. And I do like what DiverDiva brings to the table. Okay, next up we got Quartz. Quartz, the first subunit to do 4, and you can see that because the 4 is in the name Quartz. And then that's one of the big reasons why they wanted that name, because they had 4 in there. And another thing you can think about Quartz, quartet. Quartet is when 4 people sing, and quartz can also be, like a quartz. And these girls shine like a quartz and stuff like that. But how do they do? I remember when I first saw this concept, and I'm like, okay. But, like, does really, really mix with these girls? I'm like, content M, I'm like, yeah, I'm sure those girls can fit in well. Cosme, sure. Reno's like, that's a little odd. But how do they do? Let's take a look. So for Quartz, here are the songs that they have. First single, Sing and Smile. They had Sing and Smile and Beautiful Moonlight. Both are good songs. I know a lot of people seem to really, really like Beautiful Moonlight. I think it's a fair song. It's not my favorite song. It's a little slower than it I would like, but it's still a nice, calm, enjoyable song. I like Sing and Smile a little more. And you sometimes see the lies and you watch the MV. I thought it was a little more fun and interesting to watch. And you would see the girls singing together and they can make the heart and you show the different screens. That's what I liked about it. And from the get-go, once I saw these girls singing together, you know what? 4 girls together, they harmonize really well. And that's one thing I learned from this subunit, is that these girls can harmonize very, very well. And I was like, you know what? I'm very interested in what these girls can do. Then later, they introduced Makeup Session ABC. And I feel like people kind of don't really remember the song too much. It's still a pretty decent song, but it's not like the best Quartz song. And when I started going over the other Quartz songs, it kind of gets a little more forgotten, because I think it's one of the weaker Quartz songs. And that's not to say it's bad. It's more as the testament to how good I think Quartz is. The big winner for me is this one right here, Twinkle Town. So, as I mentioned earlier, we had different concepts for each of these subunits. Well, this concept was a Christmas song. And when I saw that, I'm like, alright, Quartz is doing a Christmas song? Okay, I am interested. Sign me up. I was so happy when that concept was selected, Christmas song, because there was no guarantee that would happen. And it's been a while since we had a Christmas song, because before that it was we had a Winter Vacation, I guess, and before that it was just Jingle Bells and Sayonara no Inori. So I was like, I'm always down for more songs. Twinkle Town, double W. I know there's 2 W's in there, but I love Twinkle Town so much. Oh, this song is so fun. I know I am a shill for Christmas music, but this song is so good to listen to. I love listening to this all the time. I don't care if it's time close to Christmas. I love listening to this song. It's truly embodies what the best parts of Quartz for me, especially because they do a lot of harmonizing together, and that's what you do in a lot of Christmas songs. You harmonize, you sing together as a chorus, and these girls harmonize so well together, and especially when you listen to parts of the verse, especially if you go to the second verse when they harmonizing and singing together, and some are humming in the background and someone else is singing. Woo! Oh, I like that. I love that part so much of the song. Twinkle Town is so good. And I would say, yeah, that's my favorite subunit song, period. And I haven't really listened to a song that truly challenges that. This one is just really good. And top 5, Love Life song, honestly, for me. Which is pretty good considering it's, 500. Next up, the second single, we had Swinging and Not Sad. I think Not Sad's the weaker song in this one, but I do like Swinging, though. Not Sad's still pretty decent. But Swinging is a fun song to listen to. If you actually watch some of the lives, they actually have swings on there. And they're actually swinging once they add the chorus when they're saying, swinging, 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 swinging. And they kind of swing. I just thought that was nice that they actually did that. Swinging was definitely my favorite song on that single. Not Sad is still pretty good. I remember listening to both and not being sure which one's my favorite out of it. But Swinging is definitely the one that I've definitely grown more attached to, and I still find that a fun song to listen to. Then when we move on to the intro single for Season 2, we have Enjoyed and Four Seasons. Both are good songs. Enjoyed's definitely the one I like a little bit more. I still think that those outfits are not great. It's just plaid. Ugh. I wish they had something else a little more interesting. To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of plaid. I'm like, it looks like they're wearing picnic blankets as a dress, and usually that's not great. But Enjoy it's still a fun song to listen to. It's definitely more the mid of Quartz songs for me, but it's still a pretty dang good song. Fool for an Hour is a little slower, and it's an alright Quartz song. It's a little towards the bottom of Quartz songs for me. And the chorus, it's alright, but it's still definitely a little bit slower song, and I'd rather listen to other Quartz songs. And last but not least, for third single, we have Pastel. So those two songs, we got Pastel and Michi no Saki. The one song I really do like from this one is Pastel. I like this one a lot. I might even like it a little more than Swinging. I've definitely been listening to this song a little bit more recently, and ever since it came out. I find this one a fun song to listen to. It's colorful. I know the song name is Pastel, but I actually do like this one. It's a pretty fun song overall to listen to. So, with all that being said, where would I put Quartz? Well, the thing about Quartz is that it has no weak songs for me. I have liked at least every single song, and yeah, some are a little weaker, and yeah, like I would be okay with listening to it. It's not something I would go out of my way, but it has a handful of songs I do genuinely like. Pastel is one I do like. Swinging is another one I really like. Twinkletown is a Omega W in my book. I really like that song a lot. Sing and Smile is pretty good. Enjoy it's pretty good. They have a lot of good songs that often even clear the top songs for some other subunits. So overall for Quartz, they've done a fantastic job. And I haven't found a point where I tell to myself, like, wow, Quartz ain't that great here. Because Quartz has always done a good job for me. And I like what they've done. And especially because I really like Twinkletown, they've really moved up a lot in my rankings. So then the question for me is, where do I think they belong, in an S or an A? Because I really do like what Quartz has done. And I'm going to give an S-. I like Quartz. I generally do. I think they've been the best unit in Nijigaku. They don't have any misses. And every song they do has been quality for me. Quartz has done a fantastic job, even though I've doubted them in the beginning, and I was unsure of what kind of style they would have. They've done well. Genuinely well. So, overall, I gotta give props to them because they've done a good job. And also, I like Twinkletown, so it's also part of the reason why I'm putting that high up there, because I really, really like that song. And that's probably why I will put it into the S-. I love the song. But it's not just that song though. I really do like Pastel. And Swingin' is a fun song to listen to. But that's just how I feel. I wouldn't argue if it's an A as well. It's kind of around where I want for them, but I just like Quartz a little bit more than what DiverDiva has. And yes, DiverDiva has Power Spot, but Power Spot loses to Twinkle Town for me. That's just my dumb opinion. Okay. Last but not least, we got the last Nijigaku subunit, Rebirth. So of course, Rebirth was made by Rin Taicho, and the name of course is Rebirth, but the E is to a 3. That is because there's 3 members. But the focus of Rebirth was that each girl had their own rebirth, where they had to change themselves and be reborn as an idol. And that's I'm not mean and I hate you girls and all that fun stuff that we learn in all sorts of stories. Great story writing, absolute S+ tier writing. But let's take a look at the songs. So of course, one thing we'll note about Rebirth is that they will have less songs than the other Nijigaku subunits, honestly because they came out later. So there's a little bit less songs to go over. So let's take a look at the songs that we got here. So Rebirth, they have Monster Girls, and that's it. Don't be confused by these songs because that's just what was paired in the single. These are soul songs. Ayoe Kanaria is the Shiriko song. I'm Still is the Mia song, and Queenum is the Nanju song. So just Monster Girls. Monster Girls is a fun song to listen to, and especially when I first saw that MV the first time, it's like, oh, that's kind of fun. They're coming out and they're showing that they're monster girls and they're here to take over the world and eat everybody up because they're monsters and they're girl bosses and they take crap from anybody. And you know what? It was a fun song to listen to. It died off a little bit over time, but it's still a fun song to listen to. And you listen to the chorus and like, we're monster girls, and then you kind of have the chorus and them singing. I think it's a fun song to listen to. So next up we have Look at Me Now. They had a bonus CD, and I actually like this one a lot. This has been my favorite song from Rebirth. I don't know if that's necessarily true for everyone else, but this one's actually a really fun song to listen to. Each girl sings their part. But overall, this was a really fun song to listen to. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a song that I really like listening to. And it's been one of my favorites out of... No, it is my favorite out of Rebirth. So, especially if you haven't gotten a chance to listen to the song, I would definitely recommend listening to this, guys, if you haven't had a chance. This one's a fun song to listen to. And then... last one we have for Rebirth is Vroom Vroom and Bubble Over. What an odd name for a single and a song. I remember when I said Vroom Vroom was the name of the song, I was like, what the heck are they thinking? Vroom Vroom? Did a 5-year-old come with this name? Might as well have been. Vroom Vroom is alright. I don't care that much for that song. It's okay. I actually like Bubble Over a little bit more. It's kind of like some of the other songs where, ooh, that's a little different style and kind of changes and spices things up. That's kind of how I feel about Bubble Over. It's nothing crazy amazing, but it's kind of a fun song. But yeah, so currently for Rebirth, we only have 4 songs. So I won't be able to judge this as rigorously as I have for the other subunits because they have a lot more songs. So I'm also just going to be grading this on what I think about the girls, their potential, and whatnot. So of course the main thing for me is that Look at Me Now is a big W in my book. I like the song. Apparently all the songs that I think are W's have W in it. I guess that's the trend. And Monster Girls is also pretty good. Bubble Over I think is decent. Vroom Vroom, it's been my least favorite Rebirth song. Some people really like it. I'm just like, It's alright. Such an odd name. And some people love it. But, you know, I like what they've done so far. So for me, considering the potential of what this group can do, I'm going to give it an A-. This is kind of between a B plus and A-. But I really do like Look At Me Now, and that's definitely the reason why I decided to give it a little boost up. And Monster Girls was also pretty good. The last single wasn't my favorite, but it still were decent songs. And, you know, these three girls are pretty fantastic. I really like Nijigaku and her solo songs. I also like Namjoon's solo songs a lot. I think these girls have potential to make some fantastic songs. Maybe at some point they'll do a song where they have Japanese, Chinese, and American influence. I don't know what the heck that would sound like it would be. Maybe that's a horrible concept. I don't know. But that could be pretty interesting as well. So I definitely am looking forward to what more they can release in the future. But they've done a pretty good job overall. Where is Arise? Arise is not a subunit. They're a rival group. So that covers all of Nijigaku. So now we're getting to things where it's going to be way harder to rank because we don't have a whole lot for them. So we have the Link Like Love Live Girls, or the Hasunosora Girls Hasunosora Girls High School Idol Club, I think. I don't know why I froze there. But the thing is, they're starting to release a lot more songs, but it hasn't been that long. But let's see what we can do. First up, we're going to start with this one. The Mira... Was it Kura Park? So, I know it's kind of... This is Mira Kura Park. Well, when you look at this, is Mira Kura Paku. So, whatever. The main thing about this is that they have one song and they have one cover. So, I don't know if I'm really going to rank them off covers. But they only got one song, and that's Do Do Do. And I don't know. I'm listening to this group, and I'm just thinking, I don't know, man. I'm not crazy excited for what these girls can do. They definitely try to be the very happy, fruity, positive girls singing really high-pitched and positive songs. You know, we're going back to Printemps and CYaRon, maybe even more extreme. I guess they're trying to do a little bit more of a gamer-esque aspect to it and with the instrumentals. And I'm like, okay, I like video games, but I just kind of feel like if you mix that with a high pitch singing or something like that, it kind of sounds like you're getting an OST from a kid's game. Like, not a game that kids could play. Like, this game is designed for kids only, and it'll bore the heck out of you if you're older than 6 or something. And I don't know. I wasn't crazy about that. Yeah. So, like, I'm not crazy about what this group has done so far, and just kind of the image that they're going for. I don't know. I don't have a lot of hope. So the way I'm going to put them is D right now, because I don't know. I have my doubts, and I've been not crazy about the song they released. I'm sure they're going to release some that I'll probably like more. But Dododo is kind of like, I listened to it a few times. I'm like, yeah, I'm not really caring to listen to this song in the future. They had the song that they covered. I'm like, oh, that's not bad. Okay, but it's not your song. So I'm not sure if that's really fair for me to rank you based off of that. What happens if I don't care about LLO? Start caring then. Aha! Yeah. But currently, these rankings can age like milk. Especially about this one because they only have one song. So my opinions have no solid foundation. But the next two do have a little more solid foundation because they actually have more songs. At least to my knowledge, the reason why is that technically, story-wise, if you're following the stories in the Link Love Live app, you get to see that there are we have Kaho show up, and then we have Sayaka show up in the first chapter, but then we eventually have those two girls form their units. The girls for Mirakura Paku haven't showed up yet, so they're not getting new songs. That's really odd. The way they're handling it, it's like, that's kind of not fair. And they only have one song. How about the other ones? And I was like, that's okay, but at least I can have a little bit more of a solid foundation for guessing on or putting where I would rank them. Why Doko? It's not really a subunit. I know. So Why is with Ruby, Yoshiko, and Yo, and they've only had what, 2 songs, Sabotage, and whatever that other song is. I like Sabotage. I don't really care for the other song. I find it messy, instrumentally wise. So if I had to rank them, I'm not really ranking. I'd probably put them in like a C maybe because they only have 2 songs. One song I like and one I don't really care for, so that kind of puts them in the middle. But I'm not officially ranking them. Hasunosora is not very accessible to global fans, and yes, I do agree at this moment, and that's kind of the problem, especially for you guys. The thing is, all they really had to do was put subtitles in English. Is that hard to hire a translator? You can hire one for not a crazy amount of wage. People are literally doing it for free. I know there's some people on YouTube who are uploading the stories with subtitles, so I would probably do that. I've watched a little bit of it. But yeah, that's kind of thing though. It isn't that crazy accessible, and I kind of fallen off the app because I'm just like, what can I do? Watch stories I don't understand? Yeah. Anyways, we can talk a little bit more about Orchestra and Sarai's Bouquet, because there is more stuff about them. So Orchestra, I guess Doll plus Orchestra is the name. No official explanation, but that's with Sayaka and Suzuri. Sayaka, a lot of people have liked her, and I do like her as well. And Suzuri, the penguin girl, that's how I refer to her. So for the songs, they have Awoke, which I'm sure you guys kind of remember that. And we have Sparkly Spot, Suki Makase, Kibotaki Prism, and Scapegoat. Do they plan to globalize LLL? They haven't said anything about that, so who knows? Maybe not. So, the orchestra has been definitely kind of interesting. They kind of have the art style where they're trying to be, I don't know, a little more goth-like, I guess. They have darker themed outfits. And they kind of try to go for that more cool style in the instrumentals and songs that they play. And I gotta say, I've been kind of liking some of their songs. So, of course, if you guys don't remember Awoke, that's this one right here. And Awoke was alright for me. I'm not crazy in love with the song. I think it's an alright song. But overall, especially if you listen to some of the newer songs, not too shabby, honestly. They kind of have that. I think the instrumentals they have in the background are kind of cool when you listen to them. And I was listening to some of these newer songs, and I'm just like, you know what? I kind of like those instrumentals they have in the background. It kind of spices it up and makes it really cool to listen to. They're not songs that I'm like crazy in love with, but I'm starting to like what they do, and they kind of a different style than the other ones. And I was like, you know what? I kind of like what I'm seeing from them. And they actually have released a little bit of Scapegoat. If you want to listen to it, there's no preview here. But if you go to the YouTube channel, they have moments where you can listen to it. Because they have the Fest Live in the app, but they also uploaded the full Fest Live onto YouTube. So if you can watch it for free, and you can listen to Scapegoat and the other Sarai song. And it's kind of cool. Kind of cool song, honestly. So based on what I've seen from Orchestra so far, I'm starting to see what they are. And I think they have a pretty cool style, and I think they have a lot of potential to be something pretty good. They haven't had a song that I said I fall in love with, but all their songs have been kind of cool to listen to. So at this current moment, I think they're like gonna be. I like what they can do. I think they have some really cool instrumentals in it, and I'm looking forward to what more they can do. So the orchestra for me has been a B. They haven't done anything so amazing, but I'm liking what I've seen so far, and it's kind of cool that they have all those MVs, those lyric videos. They kind of make it a more fun experience to watch, and the style really meshes with the kind of MVs that they have. So overall, I definitely am seeing the potential for the orchestra. For Sarai's Bouquet. So of course that is with Kaho and Kozue. Don't exactly know why it's called Sarai's Bouquet. I don't even know what that technically means. But here are all the songs that we have from them. So we got Tsusai Sekai, Reflection in the Mirror, Fortune Movie, Mixed Shake, and Oka Ranman. Mixed Shake is okay. I don't know. It's kind of the weakest song in my opinion so far. Fortune Movie's kind of cool. If you watch the MV they released on their channel, that was kind of fun to watch. It's a pretty decent one, and you know, it's about movies and all that stuff. Reflection in the Mirror is a pretty good song. I've been listening to it. It's not amazing, but I do like a good amount of the song in there. Okaraman I listened to a bit. It's fine. And the Susai Sekai, that's a song I've definitely come to like. So for this one, for Sarai's Bouquet, I'm seeing some potential. Like they're definitely looking like they're going to have a little bit of the elements of what I think like the pureness of Lily White and Azalea. That's what I'm seeing from them. They're kind of sticking more to that though. But they're definitely seeming to probably sing a little more love songs, maybe a little bit slower, but they're willing to add a little bit more fun to it once in a while. And you know, they wear pretty flowery dresses, and I definitely have liked the dresses for these girls. So I mean, they've done a decent job, honestly. So I definitely see the potential of these girls. I don't know if I say I like them more than like orchestra per se yet, but it's definitely Susai Sekai is the one song that kind of really shown me the potential that these girls have. If I pull this up for you guys, if you look at the Fast Live, you can get a little look at what these girls look like in their outfits when they're performing the songs. So this one, for example, is the Okaranman, I think it's called. And you can see the outfits for the next song for the orchestra, whatever it was called. I'm forgetting, but I like the outfits though. They look pretty nice. So for this group, I definitely have liked what I've seen so far, but I'm going to give a slight edge to Orchestra. I think Orchestra's done a little bit better overall, and the one thing that's really shown me the potential for Sarai's bouquet is Susai Sekai, but it's definitely a little weaker for me. But overall, I do see the potential, and I'm looking forward to more songs, and actually sitting down and listening to them in full, because I haven't really done that a whole lot, especially because some of these songs are not released yet. But they've been pretty decent so far, and it's nice that we get to see them doing fest lives and stuff. And since we're not going to see them 3D animated in All-Stars or any game probably, at least we got this though. So overall, I do like what I see, and there's definitely potential there. So last but not least, we have the Liella subunits that are not even named. So I'm rating purely based on speculation, and that can't possibly go wrong, right? So let's start with the first one, and I guess it's Group A. We have Kanon, Sumire, and Mei. And I see some potential with that, especially with some jazz stuff. If they could potentially do that. And I like Mei's soul song. She only has one, but I liked it. And Sumire does pretty well with her jazz. And she has a great voice. And Kanon has a great voice. Can they mix? They probably can. But I don't know if they will be amazing or not. And I have my doubts. So I'm going to put them at C based on nothing almost. That's just my gut feeling. Because my fear is that maybe they're going to try to be another one of those happier subunits. And whatnot. But I'm like, they don't really have high-pitched voices. No one in Liella really does, I guess. Maybe Kinako? Natsumi? But not really? I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, they could be interesting for all I know. So, we'll see. I have optimism. Hopefully it's not Kanon just taking over, though. That would kind of suck. Kanon has enough takeover for just the whole group in general in the anime. Alright, so the next one we have Unit B. This is with Cuckoo, Ren, and the newly joined Wien. I'm optimistic about these girls. Wien songs, they've been pretty good. We listened to a few of her songs, got Butterfly Wing, and how dramatic and epic that could be. And I think Ren could mesh well with that. Cuckoo, I think, is a little far off from that. But I really liked her Already Say Positives song, and I do like her voice. And her Seiyu has done stuff that I think is a little closer to that style that I'm thinking of. So I could see this working. I kind of have the idea they're probably the more cooler subunit. And I'll probably also get that because, the color's blue. And their colors are light blue, darker blue, and kind of a purplish color. But I can see them being pretty interesting. Wien can definitely do a great job, and I liked all these voices. I really like Ren as well. I liked her solo songs. I see potential. Will it be realized? I have no clue. But if I'm going to rate based on the potential, I'll be cautious. I'll give them a B+. I think there is definitely room for them to be pretty good. And my biggest worry right now is that will Cuckoo fit? I know Cuckoo and Ren have done a solo song, or a duet song, and I like that song. I do, and I like their songs individually. I like their voices individually. You can put them together, and it can be pretty interesting. But I said the same thing about ZuNa, and look where we are. Disappointment. So, we'll have to see. I want them all to be good. And I have so much hope for B. If only I could come with a good name with that subunit. So, last but not least, we have the subunit of 5. Dear Lord. Who was in that? We have Natsumi, her sister, Tomari, Shiki, Kinako, Who am I missing? Oh, Chisato. I'm not even gonna hide it. D. I don't know how this group's supposed to work, honestly. And I know for Quartz, for example, I was just kind of like, well, that kind of just feels like the subbing where they just put the leftovers in. But this feels even much more so like that. Because for Quartz, I was just like, I'm not sure how Arena fits in. When I'm looking at this subunit, I'm like, how does Shiki or even Chisato kind of fit in this? I don't even know what Tomari's style is, but it doesn't... I don't think she's going to be kind of like Natsumi. This kind of feels like... When we have the two Onitsuka sisters, are they going to dominate the unit or not? Natsumi definitely has a big personality. Alright, we can get big personality times 2. Again, what the heck is Shiki doing in here? How's she going to fit in this? I don't know. I think Kineko can fit in here. That's fine by me. Chisato, okay. But I don't know. I think Chisato could do something with Shiki, but I don't know. It just feels a little odd. It definitely, for sure, feels like the leftovers, pretty much. Although, I don't know. I'm not sure how they put these together. Maybe it's just odd. It's really odd, and I don't know, man. I'm a little pessimistic on my outlook for this subunit, and maybe I'll be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But this is odd. Really, though, like, I don't get it. And, like, coming up names for these girls, it has to be so generic, because what do these girls have in common? I don't know. It's not like they have similar personalities or styles. I mean, you listen to Shiki's song, what was it called? Something, Glass Ball Rejection. That song, which is a pretty cool song, is really intense. And that's why I would like it. It's like, whoa. Shiki's going hard. She's being really intense. And when I listen to this, it's just like... And I look at this subunit, and when I compare that to her song, like... I don't see Kineko doing anything like that. I definitely don't see Natsumi doing that. Tomari, maybe? I don't know what her style is. I don't even know what she sounds like. Chisato... That's a little more intense than Chisato would go. It doesn't really seem to match her style, so it's like... She's such an odd fit there. So, especially trying to come up with a name with 5. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's hard. And, I mean, even I just said, you know, chromantic. Just chroma. They got a lot of different colors and a lot of different girls all being put together in one group. Oh, they can sing romantic songs because everybody can, right? Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe somebody got some bright idea about this, but I'm not seeing it. And maybe I'll see it later when someone explains to me, but yeah, I don't know though. It is definitely an oddity for me, and we'll have to see. I think we'll still have a handful of days left to submit names for it, and we'll have to see. Just call them Sunny Day. Yeah, and it's kind of similar. I don't know if they want Sunny Day and Sunny Pa to be both in Liella or Superstar, should I say? I don't know. Or maybe someone's gonna be like Star or something because there's 5 girls or something. I don't know. But yeah. Anyways, that will be my rankings for all the subunits. Only took me 2 hours explaining it. But hopefully you guys got a pretty good gist of how I felt about these songs and these subunits. Oh, I really like Azalea. It's still kind of been my favorite subunit, but Guilty Kiss does a bang up job. Quartz has done very well, and DiverDiva has been moving up on my rankings for quite some time with some of their songs. Lily White I still think is really good. Rebirth, a little lacking on songs, so they definitely they're more likely to move up or down depending on what I see. But I really do like Look At Me Now. We see some potential with Unit B, I guess is what I'm going to call it right now. When Ren, Cuckoo, and Wien, I see the potential. But I have no songs, so I can't really rate them. The orchestra, listening to their songs, I think it's pretty cool. Good instrumentals. I see a lot of potential in them. Will they realize it? I don't know. But they've been pretty interesting. Sadai's Bouquet, kind of mostly carried by the Suicide Sekai, but their other songs have been pretty good as well. Bibi's overall a solid subunit. They have a decent amount of songs, a few songs that I don't care as much for, but they have a handful of solid songs. Then we got Unit A with Kano and Subunit and Mei. And there might be some decent stuff they can do. I don't know if it's really fully my style, but they've each individually sing soul songs that I'd liked. Maybe they'll go jazz route. I don't know. There could be some decent things. Azuna. I like Azuna, but I'm also disappointed in them because they had some potential and I was hoping for more. And they could still potentially realize it, but they've done so many songs now, and they don't really have a kind of a style or image, and rather the style and image is kind of like it's random almost. It's unique to them. They do some really different things here and there, and they're all been decent, but none of them really hit it out of the park for me. There's a bunch of solid songs though. With a few, I'm just like, I don't know about that. CYaRon and Printemps, they're both kind of in a similar position for me. They have a handful of decent songs, but there are a few songs in there that I find quite letdowns from them. And that's kind of why it kind of brings it down, because they have a few songs that I'm just like, yeah, I'm okay with not listening to the song again. And then for the disappointments so far, the Mirakura Paku. Well, we only got Do. I guess eventually we'll get more songs when the story progresses and the LLL app. But so far, I'm a little pessimistic on my outlook for them. And last but not least, we have Unit C. But man, I don't know. I don't know. It's a weird thing. But yeah. That's more or less how I feel about them. Overall, I'm more or less relatively happy about my rankings. Every ranking is about where I would say. I'll move Bibi up here. You know, something like that. But that's what I got. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. And you know, if you guys like this kind of stuff, you can do more of this in the future. Where I use my trash opinions to rank some of Thing and Love Live. And hopefully it doesn't go too much of a disaster. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And wasn't too stupid of an idea. But that's more or less how I feel. And let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Or if you're watching it after it's live, just put a comment on what you guys think. And especially if you highlight some of these songs that you guys like. Because not everyone's listened to every song in this. I mean, so I would definitely... It would be nice to highlight some of the underrated songs you guys have in here. Still salty Lily White, it's not an S. Rank the moms next. Yeah. I like Lily White a lot, and it has a lot of good songs, but it only really has one big banger. But it has a lot of solid songs. I think it's like Lily White's like an A plus-ish area. But if Lily White had another really big banger, I probably would have put him in S. The moms, yeah. I don't want to get demonetized. But yeah. So, you know, it's more or less about it. It's not a perfect science. So Mad Lad ranked all Love Live songs. I basically did that. There's like 500 songs. Or however how much it is now. What is it to my count? 551 songs announced and are released. What, 507 have been released so far to my count? And we're gonna have 551 if I include all the songs that I know that are coming. Of course, that's me assuming that Mirakura Park is going to have 3 songs in their single, which I don't think that's a bad guess. I don't even know if the Yohaname is going to have any songs. I'm just assuming no, which is probably wrong to assume, but there's a lot of songs coming out, especially because this School Idol musical girls, how many songs are they adding? Like 21 or something? Oh boy. Look forward to that. Why can't they make it so I can watch it though with subs? That would be great. Mira, is it a all-in-one vid? Jeez. You just know what you're gonna be able to explain it at all. It's just drag, 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 drag. But it's like, it's hard to even remember if I have a song on the top of your head. Because even when I'm ranking, I have to remember myself multiple times what a song sounds like to rank them all. That or you're going to have to put some low confidence rankings in there. And it's like, oh yeah, that's pretty good. Or yeah, that's not that great. But then it's like when you actually listen to a song, sometimes you're like, wait a second. No, that's actually pretty good. Why did I not rank that higher? That happens all the time when I rank songs. But yeah. I don't know. Anyways, I guess that'll be it for this video. Guys, hopefully you enjoyed. And maybe I'll do more of this stuff in the future. But I am curious to see what you guys' rankings are. So if you want, you can go and rank them. I think I put in the description. So you can rank them yourselves. And we can see where these subunits overall land. But, you know, the LLO and Liella subunits, of course, are low confident rankings, considering they haven't done a whole lot. Even Rebirth's only got 4 songs, so it's hard to truly get a really good gauge on them. But for the rest, you know, you definitely do. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching, and well, probably if you guys got a good idea, maybe I'll do something else like this in the future. I don't know, whatever that would be, but I don't know. You can comment if you got some good ideas or whatever, and we'll have to see. One last thing I want to mention for all you guys who stayed for the whole ride is that I got a little bit of announcement to make. What would that be? A month and a half from now? Yeah, about a month and a half from now. I will be taking a trip to Japan. At least that's the plan, unless something goes disastrously wrong. So if you guys got cool ideas of what I should visit, you know, let me know in the comments below or whatever, or in Discord or whatever, I don't know. But that is the plan. I got a few ideas of where I want to visit. Yes, I do plan on visiting some Love Live places. I try to visit a handful of areas. You know, like the Love Live Shrine, Numazu, and that's where all the sunshine stuff happens. Some stuff in Shibuya, yes, that's where you get to see some of the stuff in Superstar. But I don't know if there's something you guys really would want me to go visit. I'm open to ideas. Or just, you know, it doesn't even have to be Love Live stuff, just Japan stuff. But, yeah, that's supposed to be mid-July. So, I'm starting to come up with ideas. But maybe you guys have got some brilliant ideas, or if some people already visited, got some tips. That'd be cool. Maybe I'll make an announcement on my channel later at some point when I feel like it. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching. And I do appreciate you guys staying for this video. I did look at the Chica Inn, but that was a little pricey, and I wasn't exactly sure how to reserve it because it's all in Japanese. But I, at minimum, I at least would like to go nearby, which I do have a good idea of how to get there. Because it's by that, was it Mito Beach, I think it was called? So, probably try to visit that. So, I'll try to do that at some point. One of the days, at least. Yeah, and I'll be staying in a Tokyo area. That's where I have. So, that's where also a lot of the stuff is. But I would probably take like a train down to Numazu. And probably have a day there or something like that. At least the plan. I don't know what I'm doing. It's the first time I'm going to Japan, so I'm sure I'm going to screw something up. Yeah, anyways. I do appreciate you guys staying here and watching this video, and hopefully it wasn't too bad. Hopefully I didn't do too bad. And if you guys got some recommendations, suggestions on what I can do for streams to make it more interesting, I guess I'll be up for suggestions, because I barely know what I'm doing. But yeah, cool. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in another video soon.